Hello. Let's talk a little bit about technology today. Is it too loud? Yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah, technology. Something we can have in our hands, we can connect with each other with. But what if we are intelligent created? What if we are created already to connect with each other in a world that have not been introduced for you and me? Could you imagine it? Try to imagine that everything is already there. It's already there. Created much more intelligent than something we can create in our world. Could it be possible? Could it really be possible that it's only a way of looking at the world that will open the doors so we can connect to each other through thin air? Try to imagine. Try to imagine if it was possible, what control that they will really not have over us if we could connect without barriers between us. If walls and land and no matter where you are, they suddenly disappear when we want to reach each other. Could you imagine that? Because now you see that there's a lot of things that have not been revealed for you to understand maybe yourself, who you are, what part you come from. Not only that, you can even see that, yeah, you can see that they have very much known a lot of things before our days today. But if it was possible to reach each other in sleep or just for sitting down and connecting, what if it was possible? What if it's already there? It's already a machine that is just waiting to be started up. Maybe it's not closed down. That's maybe why we sometimes can connect, and maybe some people have easier to connect to each other or go in that world. What if it's just so simple that they have just not started? So everybody shall not discover it, but could just go in when they like to. Could you imagine if that was reality? You did not need to buy a phone. You could just go to sleep. Oh, in a way of sleep. If you want to reach somebody, could you imagine if that was possible? Try to think if it was. I mean, why not? Everything else they're hiding up have a very odd way to reach each other about they want it or not. It will just unfold one way or the other, and everybody have the possibility that their mind will seek and maybe reach one day to disclosure it for everybody else. Our material world have it very much one that we shall forget about the spiritual world. But every material comes out of that spiritual world, and we have it to forget that everything once started in a room with drawing on a piece of paper, maybe created after somebody's mind, thinking it through, thinking it out, putting it down on paper, putting it down to those that make some other, and through that into production. See, that's very something, you know. Just that one is just showing us that there must be more in our world than just that. If it's so easy to change everybody's lives through that, just a thought, and have the possibility to create. If it's good enough when you create something, if it's good enough, people want it. And if they want it, it will be a success and it will be put into many homes. Suddenly, a dream, a piece of work on a piece of paper will suddenly appear in somebody's room. That I mean that is very something, isn't it? Just to think of that. That's it's nearly the same with a tattoo. I think we have a lot of to honor people who make the drawing to a tattoo. That art that can suddenly appear in somebody's body. It's nearly the same. But I think that they have much more than put a drawing on a flesh. Much more gifted gift that could be unfolded in people's homes. They have just not think at it yet. They have just not invest money on it yet. But why not imagine furnitures with the same drawing, just like tattoos? Oh, reclam. Yeah. We must have some reclam with us too. It's everywhere. So, yeah, football. Bye bye. Try to imagine if you could buy the same paper you put on walls from a tattoo store. They have sit and make a lot of drawings on a paper that you could buy to your wall. Try to imagine just to have maybe Just one wall with that. Nobody else have it. It's unique. But if suddenly the dragon on the wall could go down to the Claire production, and they could make a real dragon that they could stand in the room next to the wall where it's drawing on the wall. See, then suddenly the shape would come out into the room, and I think that could be fun. I just think they have more to give the world than on a piece of flesh. I hope I have started maybe a thought in their minds that their work don't have to just be on an arm. If there's not enough work, they could expand it in many other ways. I definitely think it's possible when you are so gifted to make what they are making every day. Personally, I don't want to talk about tattoo because I'm not so much into have something on my skin, so but we don't have to talk about that. But yes, another world. Could you imagine? A world in our world, just for everybody to connect. Have you seen that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger? I very much like that one. You know the one on Mars, where there's this big machine, and when you push the hand, it will melt the ice into the air. What if we have already a kind of a machine to another world that could expand to every mind and open up our minds in such a way so we could reach each other just with thinking on it? That we could allow or not allow people in just with thinking on it. We did not need it to have implant a device in our brains because we already is created like that to reach each other. I mean, isn't that what we are living for? To have that social company once in a while. I mean, that one must be much farther than we maybe could imagine because our distant to ourselves have maybe reached a distance so we no longer understand. We no longer understand and we have not even teach about it anymore. Maybe it did control our lives too long. And maybe that's why we want to have a distance. Maybe there was something we wanted to have distance too. Maybe that's why everything have become unknown this day today. I'm not sure, but I know this. I know many of you out there have felt it in the night sometimes. I know many of you out there had small experience, maybe a cup falling down, maybe a spoon falling down from the kitchen, maybe your closet have opened by itself, or somebody knocked on the wall. And maybe you're just forgetting all about it. Because, people would say you are crazy if you begin to speak about it. They would not believe you and they will think going on in your mind. But you have just kept your mouth in all the years because you know how people are. That's why you did never speak about it. You did not want to make a fool out of yourself, so you kept your mouth and just ignoring it every time it happens. Isn't it true? I love dreams. If I could hear about other people's dreams, if they could send it to me somehow, I would very much hear about it because real or not real or just the experience of a night, I find it very interesting to hear about. Now that I have used my mind on it in many years, but remember this, if you have children or maybe just yourself or maybe your husband or something like that, remember you can always put something up over your bed, something that will make a little noise. Not a big noise, just a little noise. You can buy this while you're putting it up in the wind outside. Do you know that? Maybe something like that, but make your own. Just something, a little one. This can indicate if you have visitors or if you are walking when you're sleeping. Not physical, but spiritual. It's a very good idea to have something like that over your children because if you find out that your children have a gift and they can do that, maybe you should be a little bit aware because there will be other people who will be very interested in your children. It's a fact, not something I'm just making up. About it's possible to talk with the dead. I think in some cases it could might be possible, yes. I think it could. But who you are reaching, I don't think you can be sure. But yes, I think it's an interesting theory. I have some of my own experience, so yeah. If you have interested in some of the things I have speak about, you shall always be welcome to connect with me if you see me. Um, you shall be welcome to do it. I will be glad to hear about your experience, or man and female. I think it's a very interesting subject to talk about, and I don't think people are whack or fool or s- suspicious. So let's connect. Thanks for now. Bye. Good afternoon.